さあ、続きやっていきましょう。しのめです。ワニマダムワニのところからだね。じゃあ、周りからいつも通り見ていこうか。部族由来の品。あ、もうマダム出てきちゃう。爪長えな。
Do you think so? It's the art of my people.
なんか結構上品な方なのね、マダム。
Crocodiles?
There are many kinds of crocodile in the wilderness, Mr. Featherland. This is the art of the Nilenites.
Hence the name, the sweltering Nile.
世界観追加。
It's a river, Mr. Featherland. My ancestors lived by this river a long time ago.
Interesting.
Thank you.
忘れないうちに見ておこうか。メモ帳、刑事の最良の友です。メモ帳の使い方、テキストや画像をクリックするとあなたの言語に翻訳されたバージョンを読むことができます。とりあえず、ワニマダム・ザイバース。笑顔も言葉も常に塗られているが、脅威だけは本物だ。スパイであり娼婦だ。さて、世界観これだね。ていうか、この新しい情報がこのびっくりマークつくようになったんだけど、これは何かアップデートがあったか。古代文化である。ナイルナイト。さて、ところ見たから次動かないとけ。
Is that the time already? Have you noticed your clock's not working?
How observant you are. That clock isn't meant to show the time. It's a decoration. A memento.
It's beautiful.
Indeed.
11時45分。なんか意味があるんだろうか。これ本人。
What a painting! Congratulations, ma'am.
Marty.
Yes. It's beautiful indeed. It's more than 40 years old. You know, I was considered pretty then.
本人だった。
Oh, don't say that. You still look great, ma'am.
Thank you. It feels good, but no. There's no need for lies. Those days are long gone. Every age has its truth and its beauty. For me, beauty is not in the looks anymore.
I agree, ma'am.
なんだか深いことを言われた気がする。
Yes. This is the Zevas from the legends. Beautiful and deadly.
娼婦だった頃なのかな。年齢的にね。ありとあらゆる本。だいぶざっくばらんとしたゴミと
There are
バツ。
books here on quite a variety of topics.
ゴミとバツ。爬虫類
There
と
are
して
books here on
99
quite a variety of topics.
全部コメントは同じなのかな。
There are books here.
同じだね。動物の心を紐解く一つの鍵。特にカメラも移動できなさそうだ。後で何か使うんだろうか。特にない。こっちも特にない。じゃあマダム行くか。とりあえず見る。
So she is the legendary Madame Zevas.
意外と普通に受け答えしてくれ
Let
るよ、
me
マダム。
introduce myself properly, ma'am.
Mr. Santino, I know who you are. And I also know your partner. The legend of the chicken police is always one step ahead of the chicken police.
チキンポリスの評判は常にチキンポリスの一歩先を行く。
Thank you. That's flattering.
May I ask what you are looking for exactly? Here on this night?
You know, that's an interesting question. The card we've shown your lovely colleague.
belongs to an old friend of ours whom we haven't seen for a long time here.
And the name?
Unfortunately, no, Mr. Santino. That's confidential information. In my line of work, discretion is everything.
まあそうだよな。
Well, you know, in our line of work, the law is above everything.
Oh, do you think so? I could tell you what your colleagues think is also above everything. But, as I said, discretion.
Look, ma'am, we don't want to impose. We're conducting a private investigation, which started off as harmless, but now it's murder.
That sounds serious.
It is serious. That's why we'd be grateful for your help.
In that case, I'm at your service. Ask your questions, and I'm going to answer to the best of my knowledge. As long as you're not wading through muddy waters.
Fortunately, I swim very well for a chicken.
I swim well, too.
あ、俺も。これは誤訳でしょ。尋ねる。出たね。尋ねていこう。奇妙なカード。
As I was saying, it belongs to us. Only our most valuable guests have one of these. And our employees, of course.
じゃあ結構重要人物にしか渡してないカード。
The employees, too. Good to know. Can you tell me if this card belonged to a guest or an employee?
No.
ないんだ。
I thought so. Yes, thank you.
じゃあこのカードが誰が持ってたのかっていうのは厳密には分かんないってことか。でもなんか知ってるような口ぶりだよね、みんなね。ルイシー・ヘイワード。
Louis Hayworth is a good friend of mine. It surprises me that he's a regular here.
You wouldn't believe our clientele. You would be shocked.
No doubt. Louis, does he come here often?
Not so often.
Thank you for the vague answer, ma'am.
極めて濁された回答だ。
The mystery is thrilling. The thrill is life itself.
That was beautiful, ma'am.
名前の書かれたリス
Tell
ト。
me, have you ever seen this list?
I have.
あるんかい。
Am I right to assume it has something to do with the sweltering Nile?
It does, yes. But I can't tell you more about it. No.
知ってるの
Discretion
か。
is key.
Absolutely.
知ってるのか。教えてほしいな。回り道したくね。ナターシャ・キャ
Do
ッツェ
you
ンコ。
know Natasha Katsenko personally?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about her.
Warm-hearted, protective, quick-tempered, fierce. Yes, fierce.
凶暴。
Thank you. Very useful.
尋問も来た。スペルタリングナイル。
This place isn't just our home with the girls. It's a sanctuary.
Really? How?
It symbolizes why the city was founded almost 1,000 years ago. Unity, love, freedom.
Interbreeding?
That too, yes. Do you have a problem with that?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't. My girlfriend's a predator.
Really? I'm glad to hear
そう
it.
なの？鳥じゃないの？まあもしかしてポスターに貼ってあったチーター。いやでも名前違った気がするんだけど、まあいいか。
Deceit is everything to Zavas. She used to be a spy, so I'm gonna take her every word with a grain of salt.
まず右側。欺き、印象欺き。メーターちょっとマイナスね。とりあえず質問1個しかない。ミス・ザイはあなたのデスを知っていますが、その裏にいる本当のあなたはどんな動物
Who's
なので
behind
す
the legend, Miss Zavas? Who are you, really?
Just an animal raised to survive, Mr. Featherland. And because I've been taught, I know how to survive. I always was what I had to be.
And you managed to dodge my question. Clever.
Well, you see, this is one of the typical elements of survival. The way of dodging a delicate question and still making the questioner believe he got the answer. But you're too cunning and experienced, aren't you? You're not an easy one to fool.
I'm trying to maintain appearances, ma'am.
You should. Appearances, most of the time, are stronger and more dangerous than the truth.
サバイバープラス5、スパイだったというのは本当ですか？王権派にとっていろいろと危ないのでは？でもこの人はなんかこう最初に心をなんていうの解きほぐそうとかしなくていい感じなんだよな。多分普通に聞いちゃっていいと思うんだけど、でもどっちも遠回りの質問だからな。スパイの方聞いてみる？いや、最近の王権派にとっての
Isn't it dangerous being a royalist nowadays?
スパイだったかどうか聞いても
No, Mr. Featherland, those that are genuinely dedicated never care about danger. That's something you must know even better than I.
Do you think it's my loyalty that motivates me the most? If you do, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Maybe you're not loyal to the police, Mr. Featherland, but you are to your own principles and ideals. Am I right?
こっちが質問してるはずなのになぜかいつの間にかマダムが質問してきている。
That's true, but you're avoiding the question. Why did you stay in the king's employment after the scandals that are making half the city riot? What makes you still believe so much in the institution of monarchy?
You know, I always adapt, but only to a degree where I still don't have to give up myself and my ideals for the sake of survival.
生き残るために必死ではあったけど理想は絶対的ってことか。
You'd rather die then.
Maybe it would seem too dramatic or even romantic to you, but yes, exactly.
I'm sorry to doubt you, but I've always thought your kind was rather compromised.
Do you mean spies or crocodiles?
Spies, of course.
I must disappoint you. But there aren't many groups as loyal and unwavering as the spies, Mr. Featherland.
If you're telling me, ma'am, I believe you.
マイナス10になってしまった。セルダリングナイルとは結局何なのか、なぜ売春宿を経営する考えに至ったのか。上にしようか。情報が欲しい。
What is the sweltering Nile? Is it really just a luxury brothel?
感情というか印象がマイナスになっちゃう気がするけどね。
First of all, it's what it looks like. Luxurious relaxation with luxurious ladies and gentlemen. For wealthy ladies and gentlemen with luxurious needs.
And under the surface?
If you're insinuating that my girls are kind of spies, you're on the wrong track. On a very wrong track, to be precise.
Don't they have confidential information on almost all the wealthy bachelors of Clawville?
Bachelors? Don't be naive. Almost exclusively married men visit here.
そういうもんだよな。
Well, then my question is even more valid.
Of course, they know much. Many visit here who don't care about sex, Mr. Featherland. Some come here to talk. And meanwhile, they inadvertently say a lot about themselves.
その情報をマダムが牛耳ってるんだったらスパイと同様なんじゃないか
Which
な。
makes them easy targets for blackmail, right?
確かに。
It could, yes. But even the assumption is offensive.
侮辱か。思った通りすっげえマイナスになったな。そのカードの持ち主を言いやつたら教えてくれますか？
If I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
I wouldn't say that's an acceptable price for such a secret as this, but if you guess right, I won't lie to you. Then I will tell you you
当て
were
なきゃいけ
right.
ないの？
Yes.
Good. Let's see. The answer to my question. Natasha
何が言ってくれ
Katsenko.
た？
Well, Mr. Featherland, it seems the gossip about you is right. What gave it away?
It couldn't have been easier. There's a beautiful woman with a mysterious past, trying to keep it a secret, while someone's threatening her with the exact same thing, leaving rather unmistakable messages behind. Plus, we found the card on Deborah, who was her best friend and confidant. So she was either trying to hide it or destroy it forever, so no one could find out the truth. Am I right so far?
従業員にも配ってたって言ったから、もしかしてキャプテンカーはこの従業員だったのかな？
Indeed, Mr. Featherland.
So if I'm not mistaken, Natasha used to work for you before she met Ibn Wessler. He fell in love with her, gave her a job at the Millions Club. The rest is
なるほど
history.
ね、そういう時系列だったのか。
You have talent, Mr. Featherland. I'm really sorry you're not working for the government.
I am working for the government. I'm a cop.
Are you sure, Mr. Featherland?
Touché.
Indeed. Natasha used to work here. We can put it that way, but you know, this isn't just a workplace. She also lived here. She was part of our family, and we still love her very much.
Right. That puts everything in a different light. Savas is a true survivor, always was. And she's proud of that, even to this day. Maybe I can get her to trust me if I play to this part of her.
信用を得られるかもしれない。質問が増えたぞ。彼女をあなたの思う通りの型にはめようとしたりは、彼女を受け入れたのはなぜです。彼女があなたと似ていたか。この町の動物の話ではあなたは危険であると聞きます。なぜなんでしょう。あなたは彼女を何から守ろうとしてたんです。2番か4番だけど、どっちにしようかな。信用を得た方がいいってことだよな。なんかさっきから質問直球で投げかけるってだいぶマイナスになってるから、2番にしようかな。
Why did you take her in? Maybe you saw yourself in Natasha.
She was only 17 when she knocked on the rear entrance of the brothel on an unusually cold, rainy night. I opened the door
17
myself.
の時。
Was Natasha alone?
Yes, completely alone. Her left arm was slashed with an ugly wound, and she was frozen to the bone, barefoot, only a thin nightgown on her.
Did she tell you what happened to her?
After I brought her into the house, warmed her up, and changed her into new clothes, that was the first thing I asked. But no, she didn't tell me. We became very good friends, but I still don't know what happened to her and where she came from, or how she knew about this place and the rear entrance.
And you weren't bothered by all those secrets?
That would have been very hypocritical of me, don't you think? No, it didn't bother me. I make a living out of secrets, Mr. Featherland.
I see.
プラス20。おお。ナターシャがクロービル以前にどこにいたのかご存知なんですか？
Do you know where Natasha came from
あ、どう
before?
した？ごめん。
Naturally. The poor dear couldn't even deny it. Even her name's eloquent, her accent, but mostly her manners, Mr. Featherland. She's from Stovos, and she belonged to the upper class of Stovonian social circles. She could barely even speak the language when I first
あ、
met
違
her.
う言語なんだ。
That's all you know about her. An ex-spy like you must have checked up on her new protege's past.
That's the most exciting thing. Yes, I have. Multiple times putting my most treasured connections to good use. But nobody found anything. Natasha's trail could only be traced back to the Stovonian border. What happened in that country, no one knows.
だいたいサニーの想像は合ってたけど、本当に何が起きたかわかんねえんだな。
It's rather curious, don't
さ
you
っきから
think?
情報がすごい手に入っている。
It is, Mr. Featherland. Yes, curious. That's why I've always been rather fond of Natasha.
Did it touch you deeply when she left you?
Indeed, it did.
Zavos is protective. It seems she's dedicating her whole life to her proteges. If I concentrate on that, maybe she'll open up to me.
なぜベスラーと去る彼女を止めなかったのか。ナターシャとイブンの関係を利用できるとは思わなかったのか。彼女とは今でも連絡を。これにしようか。
Have you kept in touch?
Only occasionally, Mr. Featherland. She writes to me every few weeks, and very rarely we talk on the phone. But I haven't heard from her in weeks. The truth is, I've started to worry about her.
Did she give no sign of being in trouble?
Never. No. Natasha's not the kind to talk about her feelings.
Yeah, I've noticed that myself.
彼女を最後に見かけたのはいつです。彼女はこう離れたことに憤りを覚えたことは、いや、見かけたのにしよう。
When was the last time you saw her, Madame Zavos?
Maybe around 2 months ago. There was a ball, attended by Ibn Wessler, his beautiful mate Natasha, and myself. Yes.
Was she herself? Did you feel like she was afraid or worried about something?
On the contrary, she was unrestrained, free, radiant. She was in love. Yes, in her own unique way.
What do you mean?
本当だよ。
You know Natasha loves on a different level than most Clawville women. Or most women in the wilderness, in fact. Maybe it's because of the Stovonian origins. Perhaps it's something else.
全くピンとこね
So you didn't notice anything strange about her?
Well, if anything could be called strange, it was that I saw a woman positively floating above the ground, who previously used to stand on it with 2
え。そ
feet.
れはショーの演出ってこと？
I see. Thank you,
そう
madam.
みたいだ。ナターシャがこう去るとした時どう思われましたか？
How did you feel when you learned Natasha was going to leave?
Honestly, I was very hurt. I loved her as a daughter. How would you have felt?
I couldn't say.
And I still couldn't stop her, and you know why?
Of course I do. Because you loved her.
You've been in my shoes before, am I right, detective? Yes, I can feel you have.
This isn't about me, madam. Please stop changing the subject.
I have felt betrayed on a certain level. Yes, and offended, and alone. Even amongst all my friends.
本当に
Were you
家族
disappointed
み
in
たいに思
her?
ってたんだな。
Only in myself, Mr. Featherland. But I have a hunch you know this feeling very well.
Yes, you're right. Well, thank you for your time, madam.
Anytime, detective. Yes, anytime.
あんまり高くなさそう。でもモビルパイ行った。ナターシャはスエリタリングナイルで働いていた。その後イブンウェスラに見出され、そこから連れ出された。
Please, gentlemen, wait here a moment. I would like to show you something that could help you.
Oh, that's excellent news. Thank you. We will wait.
Do you trust her?
Not in the slightest. Even her smile is fake. This woman wallowed in other animals' secrets until she became one too.
That's exactly how I feel.
Anyway, now that we're here, we can take a better look around.
Just what I was thinking.
さあ、見物もいいんですけど、その前に情報の嵐。めちゃくちゃ情報が増えた。これってこの間見た？あ、これだね。動物4個も情報あるよ。このびっくりマークすごい便利。ストーニア帝国の出身で亡命してきたが、家族で亡命してきたのか、まあ一人だったのか、ちょっとそこら辺が謎ってことだよね。さあ、マダム3つもある。ではその他者お互いを知っていただけでなく、かなり近しい付き合いもあった。相当あれだよね。てかサニーとかマーティじゃたどり着けないんじゃないかな、本人から聞く以外。ちょっと昇進ねしちゃったからね。よし、じゃあ見ていきたいけど、気になるのはこの時計。動かせるよ。動かせる。これヒントないと無理だな。
Beautiful pieces for sure. They must be worth a fortune.
特に何もないか。じゃあ本かな。ここに何かヒントがある？
These books are here for a reason. They mean
だろう
something.
ね。49。これ英語だけどさ、数字がもしかして出てんじゃない？全部、いや全部じゃないな、これは出てないな。
These books are here for
これはまず49って数字が出てるんだよね。でこれが7つのかけらだから7か。ゴミとかつ、これは特にない。まばたきしない袋。とりあえずこの49は49分だとして、ちょっとここにある数字で時計を動かしてみようか。7時49分できたわ。
A hidden door. Who'd have
隠し
thought?
扉。
She is a legendary ex-spy.
Well, this is something I've never understood. Why isn't a key good enough? I mean, you can take that with you, but riddles can be solved by anyone.
I don't think many animals get to be in this room, Marty. And the other thing is...
Maybe she wanted us to find it.
Exactly what I'm thinking. Who
まで考
knows?
える？
Anyway, we're going in.
入るぞ。じゃあ今回ちょっとここら辺で切りましょうかね。いい時間だし。じゃあ次回はこの隠し扉入ってこうか。お疲れ様です。